You're listening to the Batuta Advocates Weekly News Wrap on Desert Rock FM 96.5. Now, wherever you are listening in the world today, it is worth noting that as we go live on air at Desert Rock FM, we are hearing that Gladys is gone. But it hasn't been announced officially yet, so bear that in mind as we run through what were the biggest stories for us this week on the Batuta Advocate Weekly Bulletin. I'm Clancy Overall, joined today, of course, by Errol Parker, editor-at-large. How are you, Errol?
Good, mate. Could be better, but it's Friday.
It is Friday as we record this. And Wendell, how are you, the young fella, the cadet?
Fighting fit, looking forward to another weekend, raring to go. How are you, Clancy?
I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. Chaos within the coalition government in New South Wales. That's been a big week in headlines. What news do we have first up?
Well, we're going to start off down there. And one of our biggest stories we wrote this week was about New South Wales, now at that age, where they have to realise that mum does have sex too.
Yes, that's right. The people of NSW, which actually stands for Newcastle, Sydney and Wollongong, have had to come to the very confronting realisation that mum has needs too.
Yes, that's right. This comes after the much publicised ICAC hearings down in the developer's capital this week, where amongst all sorts of allegations and revelations of corruption, it was revealed that Daryl Maguire and Gladys Berejiklian had been getting it on.
I found that quite hot when I first heard it, Errol. I don't know about you, but there was a comment on that one from Raf Kosminski, who said, I don't care who she fucks, at least she can manage a state. Dan Andrews couldn't manage a park bench. Sounds like a Victorian, that bloke. Shut up, mate. No one cares.
That comment did stir a few people up, and we'll move along to another story we wrote. That was New South Wales Premier to stand down immediately from dating any more fuckboys.
Yes, this was a press conference a couple of days ago. Start of the week, the embattled Premier said she would stand down from rooting any more of these dead shits, or as the kids call them, fuckboys.
But bear in mind that we are just hearing she might be standing down as Premier New South Wales as well.
That's right, and she has since gone on a bit of a glow-up, as the kids would say. She's, she's finding herself, living her truth. She's joined F45 group fitness classes, erratically dyed her hair peroxide blonde, and kind of officially, but not really officially, and dating a bra boy in the form of former NRL star Rennie Matua.
Sounds like she's really getting back on her feet. And in the wake of that story, the nation has revealed that it's just glad that this type of rampant corruption never happens on a federal level.
Yeah, it's great to know that we don't have any of these kind of ladder climbers and brown paper bag chasers at a federal level, I think. I think it's great.
I mean, it is great, because if it was the case, we'd actually need a federal corruption commission, but thankfully we don't, because this kind of stuff is only resigned to state and local governments right around the country, in every corner of the country. Nothing creeps up any higher than that, though.
So if you were worried that maybe we would find a bunch of crook shit happening down there in Canberra and we might need a federal ICAC, we don't.
Yeah, it's all good. And in some local news now, a student has rewarded herself with a 4-hour nap after successfully writing her name on the top of an assignment.
Yes, she absolutely deserves it. Getting started on these kinds of things is always the hardest part, so she's pretty much halfway there now.
And she'll get up early tomorrow and finish it off if she doesn't get around to it tonight.
And at least she's not paying double for the privilege of lying around all day.
A real silver lining. And in another local story, which sort of comes from the sports world, a bloke who hasn't had a girlfriend in a while actually up to date with the Sheffield Shield.
Yes, the Sheffield Shield, which for our listeners who, aren't interested in sport, or indeed have significant others that distract them from watching state-based cricketing comps, is Australia's premier domestic cricket competition. It kicked off this week, and local man Brad Wilkin couldn't be more stoked about it. The man desperately in need of a girlfriend, or at least in need of firing up a couple apps on his phone at the very least, has been streaming the cricket on his phone at his desk all week, his co-workers have confirmed.
Yeah, that Bumble app, though, it sounds pretty great. I wish it was around when I was a hot-blooded young man. That the one where you find those people to come to those parties that you host that you never invite me to? You know, the one where you've got to put the tarp down in the living room? And...
No, mate, that's 3 Fun. That's what that's called.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily a dating app, no. It can get pretty tricky for me and the missus to get age-appropriate couples to come join us, but we are a pretty liberal community in the Batuta Swingers, so it serves a bit of a purpose. It's more of a bowling club, Mugachino connections, really, though.
Well, Wendell, now you know that you've got to start treating Clancy a bit like, the Diamantina, where if he invites you over for a party, you know, you as a handsome young man, I really wouldn't go.
Be warned, you reckon. Oh, well, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, on that note, I think we'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back again in 7 days' time with all of our biggest stories. Until then.
See you guys.